Observe what happens during a lunar eclipse. Now, a lunar eclipse happens when the Earth casts a shadow on the moon.
But every now and then cast a shadow on the moon. And when it did, that shadow was always round. Now, the only shape we know of that always casts a round shadow is a ball.
What's happening in that case is that the sun is on one side of the Earth is in the middle, and it's casting a shadow. The Earth is casting a shadow on the moon. And as the shadow moves across the moon, you'll notice that the shadow is curved, it's round. The only shape that can cast a shadow that's curved from any direction you put the light is a sphere.
Now take a look at this time lapse of this moon, where both the sun, again this is the sunrise, the sun and the moon are both above the horizon.
This is our common depiction of the total lunar eclipse, or this here, but the lesser known term for this is the phenomenon of being called a horizontal lunar eclipse. And it darkens. The darkened area is always level with the horizon. And if we were on a ball Earth, if you're 40 degrees up on the side of the ball above the equator, it should be tilted at an angle. But it never is. Every time you film this horizontal lunar eclipse, it's always parallel, the darkened area with the horizon. Now if we go up here and look, curveball, your model, when it gets right here, you'll see in a video from 2011 of the horizontal lunar eclipse that it begins to darken. This is what they claim. So in reality, the moon is more than half the radius of the Earth behind it. But we see it setting over here. One thing you'll never do, and you can double check this on time and date, or mooncount.org, you never see a waning gibbous moon rise in the east with the sun setting in the west. If refraction were the cause of this, us seeing this in the New Mexico footage, we would expect that we would see refraction show us the waning gibbous moon rising in the east with the sun in the west, but we never see that. So refraction being the cause of us seeing what we see is a lie.
This is not caused by the so-called ball Earth. See this? It's clear as day. For all those people saying the lunar eclipse debunks the flat Earth, you're completely wrong.
This is fake. We can't believe you fell for it, man. If you tell a lie big enough and frequently enough, it'll be believed. See, there's a solid barrier we can't get through. It's called the firmament between me and you. Go check word of Braun's headstone. He knew about that firmament dome. He left you all a little nodding away. For those of you still able to think, Psalm 19:1, chapter and verse. The firmament shows his handiwork. That's why when our rockets leave the Earth, they form a parabolic curve. We'll then switch over to an animation. Then it's over to your imagination. But I'm here to tell you that in reality, our rockets end up in a graveyard in the sea. Our launch pads are on coastal regions. We put them there for a very good reason. Yes, we do. There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody high. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake. We'll know our disinformation campaign is complete when everything the American public believes is false. Yeah, rocket launches are occult rituals. They're there to brainwash the individuals, to make you think that space is real, and your money and your mind we can steal. It's so easy to program your mind, 'cause you guys watch TV like all the control what you see on your TV, cause we're a branch of the military. Yeah, we teamed up with those Disney guys. They help us propagate our lies. We make cartoons about space fantasies and put them on TV for all the kids to see. We program you when you're really young. We make space travel so much fun. Then all the kids fall into our trap and all grow up believing our crap. They're called programs, man. There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody high. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake. And now it's over to our friends at Fake X for a short message.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Thanks, Elon. What a genius. Yeah, we go to Devon Island without robot cars, and we convince you we got a rover on Mars. What about the incredible ISS? Is all of that fake? Hell yes. Haven't you seen our harness mistakes? How many screw-ups is it gonna take? Haven't you noticed the bubbles in space? We film astronauts in pools, for God's sake. When are y'all gonna take the red pill and realize that none of this is real? Space travel is the biggest lie, and deceiving you makes us feel so satisfied. Our only mission is to brainwash you. You make it so easy for us to do, because nobody questions the authenticity. Making you believe in space is so easy. Yeah, we love to convince you in infinite space. We love to put you in an insignificant place. Hiding the creator is what we do. Beating the divinity right out of you. We don't want you to realize how special you are. We want you to think you came from a cosmic spark. We're secretly converting you to our religion, Satanism, scientism, atheism. Won't you join us?
Behind me is a full moon, which will soon be going into a full lunar eclipse as it sets, kind of a rare experience, while at the same time behind us, the sun is already beginning to rise.
That's not possible.
So this could be a very interesting and beautiful experience.
Indeed.
What I find very interesting is I was expecting the shadow to come upward across the moon as it would go down and it would pass into shadow, and actually it's going the other way around. The shadow, as the moon is here, the shadow is creeping down across the moon, even though the sun's coming up over here.
That's not possible.
That must be because of the moon's rotation,
Lunar eclipse is very often raised as the key proof of the globe.
Lunar eclipse happens when the Earth gets between the sun and the moon. That's right, in between.
But it actually doesn't help the heliocentric cause at all. First, there's the well-documented selenelion. This is video of one that happened on January 20th, 2019. There's the lunar eclipse above the horizon, and there's the sun above the horizon. A selenelion is where a lunar eclipse occurs when both the sun and the moon are both above the horizon.
That's right, in between.
Which means there is no alleged Earth between the sun and the moon that could cause a shadow on the moon.
I am not listening, la 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 la.
That's geometrically impossible, and the official explanation of refraction is ludicrous as it causes a cascade of problems with other actual observations. Next, the shape of the eclipse is wrong. A shadow of a sphere on a sphere does not make a curve like this. You just have to think about it. A curve on a curve is distorted. Third, the color a lunar eclipse produces is reddish. Can you produce a red shadow here on Earth? No, it's impossible, and again, the official explanation regarding sunsets and sunrises on Earth appearing on the moon is shockingly ridiculous.
This footage from 2011 in New Mexico, again of the horizontal lunar eclipse, shows the darkened area is parallel with the horizon. Now, scientists tell us that when we have a slither of white here, we can't see the red. Okay, but it should be turning red. But notice, when the white goes away, we don't see anything. The whole moon just disappears. Again, leading credence to what Jesus said, the moon gives its own light. One last thing I want to point out to you, while the moon is setting in the west and the sun is rising in the east, in reality, according to science, the moon is going in the opposite direction from what we see it. Wrap your head around that. And it's in reality more than half the radius of the Earth behind the Earth when this film is shot. Why are NASA scientists now claiming the sun is bigger? Because of the August 21st, 2017 total solar eclipse. Check it out.
Though they make CGI cartoons with shadow shaped like a pencil, it doesn't exist in reality. With real-life scale model, the shadow is actually 1,000 miles or 1,600 kilometers.
I am not listening. La 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 la.
Most people don't notice that the eclipse duration was 5 hours and don't realize what it means. This is the reason why I make this episode in English, to share that this kind of eclipse is mathematically and geometrically impossible on the globe model. The shadow will go outside the globe after 3 hours.